Hi, this is RockinRobin. Today we are going to tell you what you should sell on eBay in February. But if this is your first time here, let me tell you that we sell on eBay, we sell on Poshmark, we sell on Facebook Marketplace, and we sell at the flea markets. So today we're going to talk mostly about eBay. And the longer you stick with us, the better tips are getting towards the end. But stick with us because we got some good stuff for you. Our first tip is kind of to let you know that people don't get their IRS checks this year until late February. Usually they get them in mid-February and people start buying right after Valentine's Day. Now this year they're not going to have as much expendable cash for Valentine's Day. So it may be a little tough, but there are things you need to know what you can do with you can sell. Now the first time is, of course, Valentine's Day. It's the first week. You have to, even though it's the second of obviously February 14th, you have to sell things in the first week if you haven't have them up already. If you can put them up in January, all the better. But if not, you have to have them up the first week of February. But the big thing about Valentine's Day isn't necessarily the Valentine's gift. People get engaged on Valentine's Day. So you want to think about after that. Actually, over 1 million people get engaged on Valentine's Day. So you might want to think about engagement parties, things that they do for that, things that might be involved in a wedding and different things. They're not going to be too much more oriented because they just got engaged. So you got to first think of what they do when they first get engaged and the things that they need. But you have to remember that that's a big thing in February. It's not just the day, it's the engagements. The third things that sells in February is collectibles, but they're not collectibles that are marked collectibles. You have to know a little bit about what is collectible and look it up. So because people are indoors and they can't get out and get their collectibles, a lot of times they're looking in February. I would be very careful with this, but if that's what you sell, February is a good time to do it. The next item is that baseball preseason starts at the end of February. That means you need baseball items like t-shirts and hats and anything that would be related to baseball, baseball gloves. Mostly though, you're thinking about team sports because they're not necessarily playing yet, unless they live in Florida or California. They're more thinking about items that they could wear, you know, their jerseys and different things like that. Now, what else is going on in February? This is a surprise. You know, President's Day, Washington's Day, Lincoln's Day. My mom used to decorate the house with pictures of each of these people, but it's hard to think of what you can sell for those days. If you have something you can think of, that would be fine. It's an important thing that's happening that month, so I wanted to mention it, but I don't think it's a great necessarily something you could sell. And the next thing that I think of when I think of February is Black History Month. You might want to think about books and movies related to Black History Month. I think those will be good sellers in February. So if you have those, I would say put them up. Now, the next thing I'm going to tell you are award shows. They happen in February. They actually start in January. So you might need award party items, something to do with one of the top movies. Now, this year, none of the top movies seem like anything that would have a lot of memorabilia, but you never know. In the meantime, if people have the parties, think of things with what they would want at a party, things like that. Those will be an interesting things to sell in February. If you don't have anything, check out what other people do and what they sell so that next year you'll have a better idea what to sell for February. Before I continue, I want to take a quick break so you can see a video of my dog. But I am back after that with the best tips. So don't just move along. Stick around because we have some of the best tips coming yet. We're going to make you some money. Okay, we're back. I want to tell you about this. This is probably the most profitable thing you can sell in February. Spring break. Spring break lasts from February 22nd to April 18th. So items for summer, even though you're thinking, what do you mean it's not summer? But those going south still need things like bathing suits, flip-flops, shorts, party t-shirts, outfits. You know, the younger crowd are big buyers, and especially on eBay. suntan lotions, beach towels, sunglasses, luggage, GoPros, beach bags, hats and caps. Things like that are going to sell in February because those going on spring break need those items and they always want something new. So that's a big seller. And that's going to be not just February, but February and March. So you should put them up for February, have them up for February and March. And then what you don't sell, you know what? You'll need it in the summertime. So keep them up if you can. The next thing happening in February that you might want to sell for is the NBA All-Star Game. Now, activities are happening February 12th through 14th. So NBA gear is good. Even NBA vintage gear. I recently sold a Dwayne Wade. It's not that vintage, but it was an older set jersey, and it sold really quickly. So NBA is pretty big right now, and I don't talk enough about NBA, but if you have NBA items, February is a good time to sell them. February, and then again in June when they have the playoffs and different things are good. All right, February. Couple more things are happening in February that you need to know about. But first, I want to tell you, please hit the subscribe button and the bell button so we could send you some notifications. Also, I would love it if you could like the page. And if you have a comment, if you like us, please comment. We love that. All right, so let's continue. What else is happening in February? Mardi Gras. February 25th is Mardi Gras. They're going to be needing... We're going to have, parties that are beads and hats and colored wigs and baubles and masks, streamers, small stuffed animals, things that they could give away. So if you sell those things, they're a good time. If you have a lot of them, you want to sell them in lots because it's mostly going to be for parties and things like that. So it's a good time to sell them in February because Mardi Gras is a big deal. And February 25th is the big day. All right, my last item I want to tell you about are that you have to think about the sports that are going on that people will do. A lot of sports like skiing and ice skating, they're going to do some stuff in February. There's a lot of that. When the Winter Olympics, they're in February because that's a big month all over the world. Hopefully you already have some stuff up like that. But you must always think about in the winter months, skiing, ice skating, and any winter sports. Now is the time to sell them, put them up January, February, even March. You need to have items up like that. So these are what I think you should sell in February. I'm going to come back next month with stuff you should sell in March. But I have a lot of other videos, so I want you to keep watching my videos because I have a new one coming out almost every other day. We want to help you make some money, and we feel that we can show you the way. This is RockinRobin. So have a good day, and go subscribe. Thank you.